Hey there, it's Jessie here. Welcome to the channel. I'm going to jump straight into it today because I'm feeling so deeply, and all of my emotions are right up to the very surface today, and I want to share what a blessing it is to feel. I've experienced being emotionally numb, and the sensation is just sort of disconnect, and it's somehow more challenging than being so in touch with how I feel. I'm very grateful I've got to a place where my emotions are no longer a burden. I used to think being sad was just so challenging for me to feel sad, and now I think it's so beautiful to be able to feel so deeply. How are you feeling today? I have such beautiful connections, and I want to share why they're so special to me. It's about vulnerability and how much it's not a weakness to be vulnerable with each other, and actually how much security or sense of safety that it gives me. So I fell in love with a man who doesn't want a relationship but feels very deeply for me too. And I have, for the most part, I'd say like 90%, as I love percentages, 90% accepted he doesn't want a relationship. And there was a few days of me deciding whether I wanted to pursue a friendship with this person. And I really thought about it, like, to not pursue a friendship with somebody I feel so much love for, and they feel love for me. It would be my pride. It would be my pride. And actually, I don't want to lose this person in my life. And just because they can't offer exactly what I want, which is relationship, I mean, he's offering total friendship. We talk every day. We're so vulnerable with each other. It's like, I don't know, such a good friend, you know? And I have amazing friendships, and why does it have to be romantic? Like, I've got amazing male friends back home that I love with all of my heart, and I don't want a relationship with them. So it's possible. I know that it is my own experience, so why not do it with this man too? And so the anecdote is, this is how I became vulnerable with him and also with my friend, and what it gave me being vulnerable. So for New Year's Eve, I'm planning a party with a group of people. We're hosting an event. It's going to be fantastic. And this guy is going, and also my friend Maria is helping me. We're helping out, and we're going to make the soup for 150 people, which I've never done before, and I'm up for the challenge. And so we're organizing, how to get there, what to do, and I asked this guy if we could stay at his house over that weekend because he lives very close to the party. And I was a little bit nervous about asking him that because it's relatively new, this connection, and I didn't want to be like too imposing. So I was sort of like, you can say no if you want, all that crap. And he was like, it would be an absolute honor to host you guys. Like, clear my throat. Wow, something stuck. It would be really an honor. So it was so lovely that, like a friend of mine who he hasn't even met is absolutely a friend of his. And I shared that she really wants a bed because she might want to go home early. And that usually at these parties, if I'm in a good mood, I like to be like with the last one standing, it's in my nature. And so he shared, like, sure, Maria can come before so she knows where to go. And then if you want to stay, me and Maria could come back together and then you join us later. And I got jealous. I was like, oh my God, are they going to fall in love? Are they going to fall in love? That would break me. Not completely, I could put myself back together again, but like two extremely important people in my life, that must be such a hard lesson. If anyone's been through that, where your love and your best friend have fallen in love. So I shared it with my friend. I was like, look, I know this is kind of ridiculous, but I have this insecurity. When he said that, I got incredibly scared that you guys are going to fall in love. And we can't help who we fall in love with. And I also don't want to be a friend or a person that imposes my will over somebody else's experience. Like, even imagine they did fall in love, and that's what they both wanted. I would want to grant them that freedom, despite how hard it would be for me. And I shared it with her, and she was like, it's not ridiculous. Thank you for sharing. And it was... She really, really reassured me, even though they haven't even met. Like, we don't even know what's going to happen, but we have a very different taste in men, actually. It's just, when you're like in love with somebody, you kind of think everyone else is going to be in love with them too. Like, how could they not? And I'm in love with both these people, so I'm like, of course they're going to fall in love. Anyway, she was so reassuring, like, and basically said, like, whatever happens, I'm going to be so sensitive to you because you've shared this. So in sharing my vulnerability, now the people that care about me will consider that. And that made me feel safe. And then I shared it with the guy, which was also hard to do, but because it's a little bit, the reservation to share would be like, I don't want to come off as like jealous or insecure, and we're not even together. But I had to do it because me and this guy have promised to be fully transparent and honest with each other always. So I shared it with him. Oh my gosh, I'm scared you're going to fall in love with my friend. That would really be very hard for me. Oh, it was scary to be vulnerable, but you know what he responded? Like, I completely understand that as being a concern and an insecurity of yours, and I will be 100% sensitive to that. And he was just like, thank you for telling me, so I can be sensitive to it because I really care for you. Oh, I feel so safe with these people that I can be so vulnerable and that they reassure me in that way, that they love me and they would never intentionally cause pain. So I'm feeling secure, and it's not in a way like, okay, so don't fall in love or whatever, we don't choose that, but it's just that they will consider how whatever happens would make me feel. Blessed to have people like this in my life. And the importance of being vulnerable, even if we think it's ridiculous, And then what he told me is, like, you being vulnerable in this way and sharing your insecurities actually gives me permission to do the same. And a few weeks ago we were talking about maybe we could be lovers. And I asked him the question, if we're lovers, if we're going into this, we need to talk about like exclusivity. Because when I'm with a lover and I'm in a social event, I'm looking around, my attention is split between them and between a potential person I could have relationship with. So I shared this with him, like what are the, what's going to make you feel comfortable? Anyway, he was in a very stressful moment at work, so he didn't, rather than acknowledge that, he just said, let's be friends, to avoid any of this. And then he came back after I was vulnerable with that. He came back with his own, like, honestly, Jess, it will be really hard for me if or potentially hard, actually, he said. It would be potentially very difficult for me because he's like, I do like you. There is a lot of attraction there. I just don't want relationship. So if I saw you like flirting with a guy or really getting along with somebody, it's like potentially that could really hurt, and I want to share that. And now I'm so blessed to know that, because I really care for this person. And he said, that's potentially unfair to ask of that. This is what I think with our vulnerabilities. Like, maybe it's not fair for me to feel jealous if I've already closed the door to more. But it's okay. You could argue that it's unfair, but it's perfectly valid to still feel jealous, even if you don't want a relationship. And now I know this, I can be very, very sensitive to that, Not in the way that I wouldn't follow my own joy or excitement, but to be sensitive to the needs of the people that we love. Isn't it just so beautiful? I'm super, super grateful that I have people in my life that care and can have these conversations and can listen to insecurities and validate them and look after them because of love. And with this guy, like now it's like, for the most part, 90% totally accept that he doesn't want a relationship, and I still love him. But also it feels like there's this part of me that still wants that, and I do have that desire still. It's sad. And I don't know if that's what I'm feeling today. I don't know what the planets are doing in the sky today to make me feel so deeply, but I'm really grateful for it. And also that I know how to look after myself now and let myself feel the feels, So that is how I am today. Vulnerable, sensitive, and extremely grateful and blessed. So I really hope this video was something for you. It's okay if it's not, but I hope that it was. I'm extremely grateful for you guys, because this process for me of sharing who and how I am is incredibly healing for me, and I couldn't actually do it without you. So thank you. And I'll leave it there. So like the video if you liked it. Any thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. I'll get back. Oh, one thing with the comments is I have this app, YouTube Studio app, where it shows me the comments, which is where I can respond to them. But this app doesn't show me the replies to comments. So if I reply to your comment and then you reply to that, I don't see it. The only way would be me going through all the videos to check, and quite frankly, I'm not going to do that because it's too time consuming. Sometimes my phone gives me a notification that somebody's replied to a comment, and then those ones I look at. But otherwise, if I don't respond to your response, it's just because I don't see it. So just so you know. Have a beautiful day and a beautiful life. We've got this.